Singapore is transforming itself as a city. There is another transformation taking place in the heart of the city, right inside the Singapore Management University. This is the transformation in how we learn, in how we are using simulation, gaming, and interactive environments in our curriculum at SMU's School of Information Systems. We are committed to teaching innovation through our unique curriculum and learning methods. The SMU School of Information Systems, or SIS, teaches you how to create and use IT applications to improve business. We have a unique way of bringing together real-world business challenges with people, information, processes, software applications, and IT systems.
We play the game, and what we want to see here.
SIS really cares about how students learn.
We define the parameters, the variables, the behavior. Whereas in real life, usually
we use technology to make the learning process more interactive, more experimental, and more experiential. We are experimenting with using games and interactive simulation in our courses as a way to enhance learning and understanding. In this video, we show you a related example.
Your background demonstrates a keen instinct for business process.
This example is a serious game made by IBM called Innov8. IBM created this interactive business simulation game to teach people about business processes. We used this IBM Innov8 game, version 2, in one of our SIS undergraduate elective courses called Gaming as a Business Tool.
After you do all this, you go to a stage where you can actually simulate different decisions about the business process to see the outcomes that you'll get. And that's the part which is more interesting for us.
The students are required to improve a business process and to test it in a scenario by doing simulations. The business domain is a service call center, and the students are required to capture and validate the as-is model and to propose and validate a to-be model, while balancing 3 key performance indicators, namely customer satisfaction, average call time, and budget. Flexible business rules will make the process more dynamic and responsive to changing conditions. Through the gameplay, they experience the rewards for good decisions and the penalty for bad decisions.
Key learning lesson for us is really this thing where you input your parameters and you get an outcome. But you can have a situation where people need to choose different parameters and they have certain constraints because you have limited budget or you have other limitations. And then based on the choices they make, they get a certain outcome.
I think the way Innov8 is designed is very interesting. We see how they use gaming to teach business context, relevant kind of module. Yeah, because we're supposed to develop a game at the end of this course, inputs like from business, and then you create a game for many people to play. Basically, it's quite intuitive, it's quite simple. The way they design it, basically you just change what are the decision points, how do you merge different decisions, how do you fork out to different decisions. I think these are very interesting things. You have a choice of playing with the axis, and then you playing with, you come up with some parameter, come up to be. Yeah, I think this aspect is very important because in real world, making mistake like this, it costs millions of dollars. But now we have a simulation tool to go through all this.
The game helps us to visualize the concepts learned in the modules such as simulation and business process management. And we played the game whereby the input will affect the output, the KPIs. So from there, we learn how to manage our resources much more effectively.
We think the game is pretty interesting. I think it's a good idea. With some simulation like that, it will be much more fun.
What I love about the games is the graphic. Graphic was amazing. We have the 3D games, RPG.
I think one thing I would like to see is a multiplayer mode in Innov8. I think this will be more interesting rather than single user.
Innov8 allowed students in my class to understand how a game can engage players in problem solving and thinking about problems in a business context. Specifically, the simulation of a business process provides a good example of how decision-making in a game can have a business impact. I believe the game is a useful tool to introduce students to the concept of business process engineering and to let them experience firsthand the trade-offs involved. What the students enjoyed about using Innov8 in the classroom is that it provided them with an immersive learning experience, one which breaks the pattern of learning in class in the traditional method. Beyond that, it also allowed them to bid against each other in a competitive setting. Who is able to achieve better outcomes in a certain business scenario. As a faculty member, I find that the use of simulation and gaming is a good way to augment traditional learning methods. It allows students to engage in experiential learning. They actually experience something, they feel it firsthand, and through that, they gain a different perspective on the same topics and the same material.
The IBM simulation game, Innov8, provides a unique experience of using gaming technology for learning about business processes and for understanding how gaming can be used as a business tool. SIS really believes in learning by doing. For first or second year students, if we tell you about a complex business process, you may understand what we say, but you may not feel and experience the real thing. While the game is a classroom tool, it gives you the ability to interact with the workflow and the people in a business process setting. You get the feel of the impacts of your decisions. Learning becomes more tangible and fun, and you become motivated to pursue these topics more deeply on your own.